What is good, y'all? It's Pod.cannion, and I'm back with another reaction video. This is a little bit different. Um, this is a Teddy Slump video, which I've never even seen like on my own, but I want to like start adding like little anime commentaries in there, um, because on the side I'm gonna also be talking about anime, so I want to like start sliding these in there slowly. Um, you'll see the CJ the Champ video first, but I'm about to react to that after this. So you'll see this a couple days after whenever that junk drops. But yeah, Muzan might be the worst main villain ever. I've had like it's been a minute since I've just talked about anime in general, but like Muzan was man. I know he's just talking about this. I'm thinking about like even past because I read the manga, so like I know how the series ends. I'm not gonna spoil it, of course, because this is probably just a review of the anime and like how the most recent season had ended and everything. But Muzan wasn't too bad of a villain, but I won't say he wasn't anywhere near one of the best villains either. It was kind of just, you're cool, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you're cool, but let's see his take on it. And yeah, I'm not gonna waste too much more time. If y'all like the video, subscribe if you want to see me again on your feed. You know how they do the small YouTubers over here, but appreciate y'all rocking with me, clicking on the video and all that. Now let's get into it.
This is Muzan Kibutsuji. You've probably heard of him. I mean, he's the main villain of the literal biggest anime of the past decade or so, but accolades aside, Muzan is a problem. A series of problems, actually. Problem number one. Muzan kinda accidentally turned into an immortal monster that hungers for human flesh and evaporates in the sunlight. Problem number two. The remedy for problem number one comes in the form of the blue wisteria, a rare flower that has eluded Muzan for centuries. Problem number three. Standing in the way of Muzan in his quest for this flower is the Ubuyashiki family, a family that has sworn to stop Muzan's reign of destruction in Japan by enlisting the help of fucking super
AKA they doing their job.
Powered samurai child soldiers. And lastly, there's problem number four, perhaps the most damning of these problems actually.
Talk to me.
Muzan is an absolute fucking dumbass. You see, Demon Slayer has this sort of conundrum where the odds are so over.
Because like, bro, you've been alive for 1,000 years, and you with all these people, and none of them have found the flower for you, bro. Not one. All these years, bro. Like, you should have been went out on the field on yourself if you. Let's see.
Overwhelmingly skewed in the favor of the bad guys, that the only way this story can really go on is if the main villain is so grossly incompetent that he commits literal centuries worth of fumbles, and so lo and behold, our boy Muzan commits centuries worth of fumbles. Now for a long time, Muzan had the luxury of fumbling, right? The nigga was so overwhelmingly powerful compared to his ops, most of his ops at least, that he could afford to kind of just ignore them, put them off to the side. Sure, he probably could kill them all pretty easily if he just tried. I mean, he came face to face with the main character before said main character was strong enough to even break a hair on his head, but
literally,
you see, that brings us into problem number five, actually.
Nah, that is crazy, bro. He was with his family, but that's just his facade. One of the facade. This Michael Jackson ass fit, bro. Every time, bro. It's like just him with the hats, bro. That's really what be doing it. And the fact that this hat is white, smooth criminal indeed.
Muzan is a hoe ass nigga. You see, 2 centuries ago, Muzan was spanked by a nigga that was essentially Samurai Jesus. It was the closest he had been to dying in his entire immortal life, and so, like a kid who had been scared straight by his pop's belt, Muzan was basically PTSD'd into inaction and would spend the rest of his days enlisting other niggas to go handle his light work in fear of the mere possibility that he might one day live to see another ass whooping. Now, I said earlier, for a long time, our boy Muzan...
That's a crazy way to put it, but that's kind of how he's moving with this shit.
Muzan had the luxury of fumbling. He had the luxury of just dawdling around for centuries, passively trying to reach his goal of true immortality. But when a 14-year-old girl accidentally reaches this goal before him... Oh hell nah, bro. That nigga Muzan is about tight
No
as hell
way.
because
Nah,
how
that
is a
is
literal
facts. I would be tight
14-year-old
too.
about to be given the powers that he spent the past 1400 years fiending for?
Like,
Something's
for
not
real.
adding up to Muzan. And so he decides, you know what? I think it's high time I take matters into my own hands. I need to get me this 14-year-old
Should've been
girl.
done that.
Pause.
Yeah,
And I need to
100%
reabsorb her essence back into my own. Pause. So that I can finally obtain true immortality. And so he goes to do just
I
that.
was
For
like,
the first
you
time
3
in
for 3,
centuries,
bro.
our boy Muzan jumps up off his buns and goes to do something useful with his life. But you see,
Tripping
here's where we
aura.
run into problem number 4 again.
Nah, that people were saying that's, or I think that's the dust from him finally leaving the crib. Let me stop.
The one about Muzan being a dumbass.
Damn.
Muzan is still a dumbass. You remember Ubuyashiki, right? Muzan's biggest op that we discussed a bit earlier. Yeah, well, word gets around to Muzan that old Ubuyashiki isn't doing too hot. You see, Ubuyashiki has like this cursed cancer, blindness, tuberculosis,
It's like a curse,
HIV hybrid. I really don't know what homeboy
Really
has, to
feel
be
like a
honest, but it's
hybrid.
bad. And it's gotten to the point where the doctors are telling him that he has mere days left on the clock. Now, if there is one moment in this story, one moment where Muzan should have stuck with being his usual passive, inactive self, it is this moment right here. He literally has God himself about to wipe the biggest threat to his plans off the map due to natural causes. All he needs to do to gain even more of an upper hand than he already has is do exactly what he's been doing for the past millennia. Absolutely nothing. He's let 96 Ubuyashikis go out this way. A lot of these niggas he probably hasn't even seen in person. Why switch it up now that your plan is finally starting to miraculously make some sort of
He jumped on the opportunity because, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't patient with it.
headway? But you know what they say, right?
He got too
The
excited.
ego kills, bruh. Muzan decides that instead of just laying low and attacking the enemy at their weakest, which is literally like in a day after he dies, he'd rather go ahead and attack the enemy on their terms. He'd rather approach the enemy while the ball is in their court because, of course, his dumbass would. Why would he ever decide to put himself in an advantageous situation? On the other hand, we have Ubuyashiki. Ubuyashiki,
And like, I'm thinking, did he once think, or like send like one of the upper moon just to pull up on them? Like, I know he wanted to see this for himself, but there's no way that he actually thought the flower was going to be in that spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if, like, you know what I'm saying, he didn't have future vision, which definitely he's gonna, like, probably say that in a couple of seconds. But even if bro didn't have future vision and, like, knew this, Muzan should have known that they're smarter than, like, just having that shit in there. So for him to pull up himself without at least having someone see and confirm that she was there, which he has the string lady to do that. I don't know why he did this other than to, like, I guess see his pathetic, because I think that's something he said, like, see him, like, almost like that. But he said he looked disappointed when he saw him, like, almost about to die. Like, dang. Or I don't know, actually. Dang, it's been a minute. But he was definitely, like, passive, like, oh, I can kill you at any moment, but I want to kill you myself, I guess. It's weird. Like, I don't know why he pulled up himself without at least sending one demon there at least.
despite his dilapidated state, is still the embodiment of 96 generations of Muzan hatred. He is the culmination of a millennia's worth of plotting and anti-Muzan tactics. And so when he sees Muzan pull up at his front door while he's on his deathbed, oh, that boy's ready. Ubuyashiki, unlike Muzan, he knows how to execute a plan. He knows how to execute a plan very well, in fact. You see, him and his forefathers, they don't really have the convenience of an immortal body like Muzan. And so to even stand a fighting chance against the guy, they have to rely on tactics and future sight and super swordplay children, but a lot of tactics too. And so what happens when you combine these genius tactics with the future sight and the super sword children, and then you sprinkle on a little bit of nothing to lose just to spice things up a little bit?
Literally nothing to lose, bro.
You get the perfect trap for this dumbass nigga named Muzan. Muzan walks up to Ubuyashiki's deathbed like he's already won the fight. He put on his cleanest threads for their fated meeting. All white suit, black tie, black overcoat. If there's one area where Muzan isn't absolutely mentally dumb, It's his drip. I'll give
That
credit where credit is due. The nigga knows
he
how to
be
put
having
that
that shit
shit on.
on,
But
bro.
anyway,
Yeah, why?
Muzan, who really only came to talk shit, quickly finds that he's not the one talking shit. In fact, he's struggling to even sneak
Bro,
in
like, no, he barely got any words in. Like, that nigga was talking shit. He's like, I didn't even sense any, like, malicious intent from him. How did he hide it from so
a
long?
word edgewise as Uba Yashiki is popping off at the mouth
Oh,
crazy,
God.
frying this nigga in front of his wife and
Flaming
kids.
his
The
ass.
kids ain't even paying no attention to Muzan at all. They're over there
Facts.
playing taps or some shit. What has this family so emboldened in the face of a literal demon king?
So I had to look you in your
Uba
eyes before I
Yashiki
packed your
suicide
ass up,
bombs. He
nigga.
blows up
Facts.
his house with himself,
They're like,
his
bro,
wife, his kids, and
that scene was
Muzan
so clean,
Kibutsuji,
bro.
all
That
there to
slow
suffer the
motion was
brunt of
hard.
the attack. The humans in attendance all
R.I.P. to them,
evaporate
bro.
into nothingness within seconds of the explosion, but the immortal demon in their midst, he isn't so lucky. Muzan is now fighting the biggest L he's ever had to face since Samurai Jesus. The
Yep.
demon, who usually brushes off injuries in an
That
instant,
nigga's
is
head
now
almost.
struggling to regenerate. But to make matters worse, and this is where Uba Yashiki's
Yep.
true genius shines through, the detonation of the Uba Yashiki estate wasn't just a well-timed explosion done to put Muzan through hell for a few seconds. It was a signal. A signal for all of the superpowered samurai
this
within the
nigga
area
up.
to converge on this one point where they would find their ultimate enemy delivered to them on a silver platter while in a weakened, compromised state. See, Muzan's goofy ass thought he was just gonna pull up to the crib and run an easy squabble with a dead man walking, but thanks to Uba Yashiki hitting that boy with the most clap tactics of 1926, Muzan now finds himself having to fade two mentally ill niggas, two PhDs, the literal main character, an e-girl, a nonchalant dreadhead, Mr. Olympia, and worst of all, an emo nigga. Studies show that upwards of 95% of anime villain plans are foiled by an emo nigga. If this encounter right here showed me anything, it's that all in all, Muzan just isn't what he should be, bruh. As the main villain of an anime, Muzan has got to be the first one that I've seen get jumped into the last act of the story against his will. Aren't the villains usually supposed to
Bro. That shit was a nah, this nigga's take us
be the
hard.
ones catching the heroes off guard?
He should be. Nah. W video for bro. That was a good video. Shout out, damn it. I'm kinda smacked, so don't make it seem like, I gotta make sure I get bro name. Teddy Slump. Y'all mess what I'm saying, with his channel and shit like that, like subscribe, all that. We're gonna get into this next video and shit. If y'all want to see more from me, y'all already know what to do. Like, subscribe, that helps out with the algorithm, and yeah, do that because all we do is chill over here. I appreciate y'all kicking it with me, and yeah, I hope that y'all be great, y'all be safe, and I hope to catch y'all next video. Peace. Yeah.